Namaskar everyone and welcome to the 34th day of our Ramayana Satsanga. Lakshmi Natha Samarambham Natha Yamuna Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Yo Nityamachyuta Padambuja Yugma Rugma Vyamohatastaditarani Trinaya Mene Asmad Gurur Bhagavatosya Dayaika Sindhoho Ramanujasya Charanam Sharanam Prapadye आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारी परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम् कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम् वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदप्राचेत सादासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना. With prayers at the lotus feet of Acharya and Sri Rama, let us take up today's topic. So yesterday we saw how Vali was killed by Rama. Now, with regard to this Vali Samhara, there are a lot of doubts that people have. There are many people who question the rightness of what Rama did. And therefore, today's entire satsang, we will only be discussing what are the reasons for this Vali Samhara. What were the questions? Vali himself asked Rama that why did you do this? How could you do this to me? And Rama has answered those questions. And at the end, Vali is convinced of Rama's answers. So let us see what are those things that Vali and Rama talked about. That will be our topic for today. So now it is told that this Vali had a necklace with a pendant, a locket, which was given to him by Indra, his father. And because of that, he had the power that he would be very, undefeatable in battle. And it had a unique quality that whoever is the opponent who is standing in front of Vali, the half of that person's strength would be taken away from that person and it would come to Vali. So, like this, it always ensured, like whenever he was wearing that locket and necklace, it ensured that he was the more powerful one because the opponent's half energy would drain out, that person would become weak, and Vali would become stronger. So, he always wore that when he went to a fight. Now, this time also, when he came to fight with Sugriva, Vali did come wearing that pendant. Now, there are some people who say that if Rama had stood in front of Vali to shoot at him, then he would have lost his energy, and therefore, to avoid that, he stood behind Vali. This is what people are telling. But in reality, if we think of it, what is Rama's power? It is infinite. The Lord's energy and power is unlimited. If you take this infinity and you divide that by 2, you make half of it, that is also still infinite, isn't it? There is nothing, something which is ananta, you can never reduce the quantity of it, whatever you do to it. So even if the Lord had stood in front of Vali, it's not as if he would have lost any energy because his energy is not such that it is losable, isn't it? So that is not the reason why Rama stood behind and hit the arrow. There is another reason for that. We will talk about that later. Now, when Vali was hit by the arrow, he could recognize from that arrow that it was Rama who hit him. And then Rama came in front of him, and Vali saw him and he realized that this Rama is the one who was hit. Now, when Tara had warned him not to go and fight, he had said, "What will Rama do to me? I don't even know who he is. He has nothing against me. Why he will hit me?" He had told like that, Vali. But now, when he saw Rama, he is very surprised. And he says, "Jane papa samacharam trinai kupam ivavritam satam vesha dharam papam prachannam iva pavakam." I had some other opinion about you. I thought you were a dharmanishta. Now I understood that you are also a very cheating kind of person. Just like if there is a well which is covered by some hay, by some grass, then we can't make out that the well is there and we will fall into that. Like that, you are also, you are pretending to be something, but you are in reality or something else. Like that, Vali says. And then he asks question to Rama. Now, in Kamba Ramayana, it is told that Vali said to Rama, in fact, that you have no idea of what you are doing. You have lost your wife, you have lost Sita, and because of your grief and your anger, you are not able to distinguish between what is right and what is wrong. And therefore, Because you can't make out what is right and wrong, you have taken this extreme step of killing me, although I have not done any bad to you. So you lost your Viveka Shakti, and because of your grief and anger at losing Sita, you are behaving like this, he says to Rama. And then Vali also tells Rama that if why did you do all this? Your only problem is you want your wife back. Then you should have just told me. I would have ordered Ravana. He would have returned Sita back to you. Why did you have to kill me for that? Says Vali. This is explained in Kamba Ramayana. Now we will come back to what Valmiki Ramayana has as the 7 questions, important questions which Vali asks to Rama. And we will see the question and we will also see the answer to it. So the first thing that Bali asks Rama is, he demands, did I commit wrong deed? Did I do some crime in your city or in your country? Why did you hit me? I am somewhere else. I am not a part of your city or your country. Why did you hit me? Rama replies that Ikshvaku kings have jurisdiction on a large area in this place, and Kishkinda is included under the jurisdiction of the Ikshvaku kings. So Bharata is ruling in Ayodhya, and as Bharata's representative, I am protecting this area. So this is also my country. So you have done wrong in this place, which is also part of our Kosala Rajya only. It is our Ikshvaku kings only who are ruling here also. So you cannot say that this is I did wrong somewhere else. This is also my place. So as a representative of Bharata, who is the Raja, I have all the rights to punish you. That is why I hit you. Next, Vali asks, is there any previous enmity between us? Do we have some fight over some property or some other issue? There is nothing between us. How can you come now out of the blue and hit me? Why? I am not your personal enemy. Why did you hit me? He asks. Then Rama explains that Sugriva is my friend, and the enemy of the friend is also my enemy. Because Sugriva is my friend and you are his enemy, so you are my enemy. You are my priority enemy because you've done very bad things to Sugriva. What was the wrong that you did to Sugriva? You hit him. You threatened to kill him. You threw him out of the kingdom. That was okay. That you did. That is also wrong. Secondly, more importantly, when he begged you for forgiveness and protection, you didn't spare him. The Shastras say, the Vedas say that even if an enemy comes and falls at your feet and surrenders, you should protect that person. But for your own brother, you did not protect. So you have clearly behaved in a manner which is against what the Shastras are saying. So this, according to the Vedas, is the highest papa. That if somebody is surrendering to you and you are refusing to give them any shelter, then that is the biggest papa, say the Vedas. So that was your mistake. You are not I don't need to have enmity with you for my personal topic, for my personal some problem. You are the enemy of Sugriva. You did all these bad things to him. You behaved in an adharmika way. And therefore, since Sugriva is my friend, his enemy is my enemy. That is why I have every right to kill you, to punish you. Now, here the Acharyas tell us that this is an important lesson for us from this point. Many times we think that we want the Lord to show compassion on us. We want the Lord's karuna. We want the Lord's grace. But we are not compassionate to our fellow beings. We are not showing karuna to people around us. If we are not compassionate to people around us, the Lord will also not be compassionate on us. If we don't show karuna to people around us, if we are not kind to people around us, Lord will not be kind to us. Whatever we are expecting from the Lord, we should do the same thing in our practice with our fellow beings. That is what Acharyas tell here. Now, the third thing Vali asks, we have not even met before any time. This is the first time you have seen me. And why did you kill me? The very first time that you saw me only you have killed me. Why? What is the reason for this? He asks. So Rama says, the kind of mistake which you did is like that. Now he has already pointed out one mistake, that when Sugriva begged forgiveness, he did not accept that surrender. Now he is telling that the type of mistake, the other mistake which you have done, it is such a ghor aparadha, it is such a great crime. The wife of a younger brother is like a daughter. This person, any person who has a younger brother and that person has a wife, that younger brother's wife is like your daughter. Yet, what you did, you forcibly made Sugriva's wife Ruma as your wife. And that too when Sugriva is alive. See, among the Vanaras, there is the rule that if somebody loses a husband, then that person can be married again. So if Sugriva had died and Roma was there and you made her your wife, that was a different thing. But while Sugriva was alive, forcibly you made her your wife, you took her away from Sugriva. That is the biggest crime that you have performed. And the only punishment for a crime like this is Marana Danda. And that is why I was forced to kill you like this. Then the fourth question, Bali asks, why you didn't stand in front and fight? Why did you hide behind and hit when I was fighting someone else? When I was fighting with Sugriva, why did you hide and hit from behind? Now, all along, this Vali has been telling, I am an animal. I am different from you human beings. And he has been claiming that because he is an animal, he is not having any enmity with Rama and all that. So Rama says to him that you only accepted that you are an animal. So there is no rule that any person, a human being, has to stand in front of the animal and fight. Whenever kings go hunting, they can hit the animal in whichever direction they want. There is no rule that I have to stand in front of you and fight, isn't it? So you can hit from anywhere because you are nothing more than an animal. You are only saying that you are like an animal. And your behavior also shows that you are like an animal. So there is no need for me to stand in front of you and fight. Wherever I hit from, it is not a problem, says Rama. Then Pali asks, when I don't belong to your human species, why did you hit me? I am just a monkey. And in what way I am anywhere near to you? Why did you hit me? He says. So then Rama says, among the Ikshvaku kings, it is the norm. It is our culture that if somebody is following the right path, somebody who is on the Dharma Marga, whether they are animals or they are human beings or whatever they may be, we will protect them. But if there is somebody who is on the wrong path, on the path of adharma, whether they are human being, they are animal, we will punish them. So you are an animal and you are on the wrong path. So you don't deserve any protection. You definitely have to be punished only for that. Then Vali asks that why did you hunt down a monkey like me? At least some animals, people hunt them like deer, they will hunt them so that they can get the deer skin. Then some animals like the tiger, they will hunt because they want to take the claw of that or the nails of that. Some animals like elephant, people will hunt down because they want that danta, that ivory. But I am a monkey. You can't get anything from me, nor you can eat the flesh of a monkey. Why did you hunt me down? Says Vali. Now, Rama tells him that it is not that that animals are being hunted only for the sake of their usefulness to human beings. Even if there is an animal which is not having any value for the human being, but if that animal is dangerous and it causes harm to other humans, then that animal can be hunted down by the king to protect his people. Now, you are in a position like that. It is not that I need your nail or your skin or your flesh or anything like that. But you are an animal who is dangerous. You have proved that from the behavior you showed to Sugriva. And you are a dangerous person for others around you. Therefore, you have no morals at all. In your personal life, you are not having any morals. And a person like you cannot be a king. If you are a king, then you are an immoral king. And it is the duty, it is my duty to protect your praja, to protect your people from a king like this who is evil. That is why I punished you. Then Vali asks, finally, do you know that I am a king? I am the king of the Vanaras. Do you know that killing a king will send you to Naraka? At that point, Rama tells him, Aurasim bhaginim vapi, bharyam vapi anujasya yaha, pracharet narah kamat tasya, dando vada smritaha. To anyone who lustfully indulges, who has a lustful relationship with his daughter or with his sister or with the wife of his younger brother, the scriptures say that he has to be eliminated. That is the punishment for someone who behaves like this. And you have behaved like that. So the only punishment for you is Maranadanda. And if you do this crime and you are not punished, then the person who fails to punish you will actually go to Naraka. So when a Raja knows that somebody has committed an act like this, that person should be punished by the Raja. If the Raja does not punish such a person, that Raja will go to Naraka, say the scriptures. So I know that you have done some evil act like this, and the punishment for you is to go is to eliminate you, to do vadha of you. If I had to not do that, then I will have to go to Naraka. That is why I killed you. Now, finally, listening to all these things, Bali says, Yatvam Atha Narasreshta Tatyatha Eva Natra Samshayah Prativaktum Prakrishtehi Na Apakrishta Tu Shaknuyat. O the best among men, O Narasreshta, what you are saying is undoubtedly true. And you are such a noble person, an ignoble person like me cannot disprove a noble person like you. And then he says, Yat ayuktam maya purvam pramadat vakyam apriyam tatrapi khalu mama dosham khalu mam dosham kartum narhasi raghava. So I spoke some improper words to you. I said some undesirable things to you. And I spoke that earlier, but it was without realizing. It was out of anguish. It was out of ignorance. And don't blame me for that. Please forgive me, says Vali. This is how Vali accepts that whatever Rama is saying is actually correct. If we see and study these 7 questions of Vali and the answers of Rama, it is very clear that Vali was guilty of the crime, and it was very correct of Rama to have killed him. There is no question of anybody questioning that. Vali himself has accepted and said that, yes, I made a mistake. Yes, I deserved to be killed, and he accepted it. Now, because Rama's arrow has entered the heart of Vali, he is purified by that arrow and he undergoes a transformation. Now he starts giving advice. He tells Sugriva that take care of my son Angada, take advice from this Tara, she is very wise. And he also gives advice to Sugriva about how to rule the kingdom. Now the news has spread that Vali is dying, and Tara, his wife, comes there. She rushes there, she wails and she cries and she is mourning over the death of Vali, and she's ready to shout and scream and say offensive things to Rama. And yet, as she sees him, as she looks at him, she suddenly ends up praising his qualities. Why is that? Because she came full of Rajotamo gunas. And looking at the Lord, looking at Rama, the Rajatamatmaka qualities in her are completely destroyed. The Shuddha Sattva of Rama is such that it purifies her by taking away her Rajatama qualities. And this Tara, who came there to berate him, who came there to find fault with him, she ends up praising the Lord. She does stuti of the Lord. And this is a very famous shloka from the Ramayana. त्वमप्रमेयश्च दुरासदश्च जितेन्द्रियश्च उत्तमधार्मिकश्च अक्षीणकीर्तिश्च विचक्षणश्च क्षितिक्षमवान् क्षतजोपमाक्ष. You are aprameya. You are incomparable. You cannot be known. Even the Vedas say that the Lord cannot be known. You are such a simple person. You made friends with people, simple people like Guha and Sugriva. You ate the fruits of Shabari. You gave the moksha to Jatayu. So he is such a simple person. You cannot even imagine that. He is a Jitendriya. He has complete control over his senses. And it was rumored, it was told that Tara is a very beautiful lady. And yet, you did not even open your eyes. You didn't even lift your head and look at me and look at my body. That shows that you are such a Jitendriya. Moreover, Rama made Sugriva the king and Angada also in charge as his, prince, and made them in charge of the kingdom. You have no desire to rule these Vanaras. So you are Jitendriya. You are Uttama Dharmika. You do good for others even at your own cost. Your glory is Akshaya, it is undiminishing. And you are Kshatajopamaksha. Your eyes are red colored, she says. What is the implication of this? Rama's eyes are red in anger at those who do wrong. So at Vali, he looks with eyes red with anger. But those same eyes become red with love, with Vatsalya for Sugriva, who is on the path of Dharma. So, like this, Tara ends up doing stuti, praising the Lord. What is it that is there for us to learn? Many of the things I have covered already while telling about it. But one some few things more that we can look at. We said that in the Kamba Ramayana, Vali is telling Rama that because Sita is not with you, you are doing all these things. In a sense, that is true, isn't it? Because if Sita had been there, we already said that when Devi is there next to the Lord, he is not able to do samhara of anybody. He cannot kill anyone. Now, if he had to do Vali samhara, it was important that Sita would not be next to him. So, in that sense, it is true. But it is not that because Sita is not there, he doesn't know what he is doing and he is doing nonsense. It's not like that. Was it likely that this Vali is telling that you should have told me, I would have ordered Ravana to bring back Sita? Do you think it is likely that Rama would take such help? What is the mission of Rama? We already talked about this. What is his pratigna? What is his role there? What is his sankalpa? That he is going to destroy all adharmis. Is he going to take help of one adharmi to get his wife back? Is that getting the wife back the only thing on his agenda? Then he could have befriended Vali only. But he has to destroy people who are on the path of adharma. And that includes Vali as well as Ravana. That is why he never would have taken Vali's help. Now, Tara, we saw yesterday, she gave good advice to Vali. But Vali was not ready to take it. That is why it is said, Vinashakale Viparita Buddhi. So when our time of destruction comes close, we stop listening to people who are telling us good advice. We must not do that. Vali giving advice to Sugriva. How is it that Vali started giving advice? As we said, when the arrow of Lord Rama hit him and he came into contact with that Rama's arrow, he became purified. All the bad blood flowed out of him. So now he is like a pure devotee. And now he has the moral authority to give advice to Sugriva. In Kamba Ramayana, actually, it is said that after Vali got convinced by the reasons which Rama gave, then in fact he tells Rama that, see, you have so many brothers and I also have a brother. Now it is possible that after you go back to Ayodhya, your brothers will, criticize Sugriva, saying that, see what kind of a brother he is. He got his own brother killed and so on. If your brothers say like that, Rama, you please defend Sugriva on my behalf. You tell the real nature of Sugriva. You say that he made a sacrifice. What was the sacrifice that Sugriva made? He took this petty worldly kingdom of Kishkinda and he gave his brother Vali the kingdom of moksha, the kingdom of liberation from this world. So you tell and support my Sugriva when your brothers make fun of him. Then we saw that Tara came with anger and grief and all that. And that was all Rajasic in nature. That was Rajoguna. But standing in the Sanidhya of the Lord, that got burnt away. Being in the holy presence of the Lord, Tara started doing stuti of the Lord. So also, if we spend more and more time chanting the Lord's name, reading about him, listening to his leelas, contemplating on them, our Rajotamo guna will also get burnt away. We don't have Rama physically with us, but we have his Nama and we have his gunas, we have his stories. So if we listen to all that, we constantly keep chanting his name, just like Tara's Rajotamo guna went away, our Rajotamo gunas will also get burnt away. We will become more sattvic, we will become more positive, and we will go further on our spiritual path. Now, finally, we come to the answer of why did Rama actually stand behind Vali and shoot the arrow? Here, the Acharyas explain that if suppose Rama had stood in front of Vali and Vali knew that Rama was standing there, there is a possibility that Vali would have come and fallen at the feet of Rama and surrendered and begged forgiveness. Now, we said that the Shastras say that if somebody surrenders to you, then you cannot refuse them shelter. You have to forgive them. You have to take care of them. So if Vali had done that, Rama would be forced to do that. Also, this Vali's acts of turning away Sugriva when he surrendered to him and taking away Sugriva's wife, who should have been like a daughter to him, those are very grave offenses. Now, for such grave offenses, the punishment the Lord gives is that he does not even give them the opportunity to surrender. So he made sure that there is no chance that Vali can even try to surrender to him. And so that Vali should not surrender, he stood behind and he shot the arrow from there. Of course, we saw the other reason that was given originally, that if you are saying, like you say, if you are an animal, then there is no rule to stand in front of the animal and hit. But our acharyas tell this point to stress how it is very important for us to never commit crimes like this, because these are the crimes that will make us ineligible to even get an opportunity to surrender to the Lord. So Vali had done such an offense, and therefore he got what he deserved. Now, what happens next, we will see in tomorrow's satsang. But for today, I hope we have understood and we've got our doubts clear. We've got a clear picture now of why it was that Vali had to be destroyed and destroyed in this manner. So, let us offer Kritagnata to the lotus feet of the Lord and Prabhu Sri Ramachandra. Let us pray for their blessings and grace to always be on us. Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunaptaye Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam Veda Vedanta Vedyaya Meghashyamalamurtaye Pumsam Mohana Rupaya Punyashlokaya Mangalam Pitrabhaktaya Satatam Bhratrabhi Sahasitaya Nandita Lokaya Ramabhadraya Mangalam Srimate Raghuviraya सेतुलङ्घितसिन्धवे जितराक्षसराजाय रणधीराय मङ्गलम् मङ्गलाशासनपरैर्मजाचार्यपुरोग्रमैः सर्वैश्च पूर्वैराचार्यै सत्कृतायास्तु मङ्गलम्. Thank you, everybody. And we will meet again tomorrow to see what happens next. Namaskar.